Imagine waking up to breathtaking views, but living on the edge, literally. Is a home by the Coulees worth it? So what exactly are Coulees? Coulees are steep-sided, often bowl-shaped valleys that are the hallmark of Lethbridge's landscape. They were formed thousands of years ago during the last ice age by the Old Man River and the glacier meltwater carving through the way of the land. It's what gives Lethbridge its stunning dramatic views. And you've probably seen these rolling hilly areas that look out over the city. Many properties have views that showcase these natural features, and some back right even onto the Coulee. Now a lot of people wonder, are coulees and valleys the same thing? Well, while they share similarities, there is a small subtle difference. Valleys are broad, low areas of land carved over by time, rivers, or glaciers. On the other hand, coulees tend to be more narrow, more steep-sided, and often formed by the same erosion process, but in a more dramatic and specific way. Think of them as a special kind of valley, one that's unique to areas like Lethbridge. And while other regions might refer to similar formations as bluffs or gullies, the term coulee is deeply tied to this part of Canada, especially with its French roots, meaning small stream or ravine. But what makes them so important in the world of real estate? Well, it can significantly impact the value, the style of home you find, and even your day-to-day living experience. One of the biggest perks living on or near the Coulees is the views. Whether you're looking at the dramatic overview of the river valley or enjoying a sunset that makes your whole neighborhood look like a painting, these views can really boast a home's value. In real estate, location and views are a huge factor. In fact, homes with sweeping, unobstructed views tend to sell for higher prices than those without. A study done by the National Association of Realtors showed that homes with views can sometimes demand 10 to 20% more than similar homes in areas without one. So if you're buying a home with a view, it could be a key selling point in the future, especially if you plan on selling in a few years. And sellers need to keep that in mind when pricing a home properly. Homes that offer a glimpse of the Coulees or sit right on the edge often have more appeal, and the price tag tends to reflect that. Living near or on the Coulees often gives you a little bit more privacy too. Homes perched on the Coulees often are more secluded from the hustle and bustle of the city life. They are also less likely to have neighbors directly behind them and often sit on larger lots, which is a rare find in urban cities. If privacy and having some space around your property are important to you, this can be a huge selling point. Plus, if you're an investor, keep that in mind. More space, more privacy can attract higher end buyers. However, not everything is all sunshine and rainbows when it comes to living near the Coulees. I'll be totally honest. The terrain can be a little bit tricky. The steep slopes and uneven land can make it harder to build certain types of properties. Construction costs on these slopes can also be more expensive, and the homes themselves may require specialized foundations or structural considerations. That can lead to higher maintenance costs over time, especially when it comes to erosion or soil stability. Buyers should definitely keep that in mind, especially when looking at properties with large sloping backyards that back onto the Coulees. It's not just about the view, it's about the long-term upkeep. Another important factor to consider is flood risk. The Coulees are close to the Old Man River, which means homes along the edges can be at a higher risk of flooding, especially during the spring runoff or heavy rainfall season like we're experiencing now. Lethbridge has seen its fair share of flood events over the years, and properties in flood-prone areas may require additional flood insurance or other precautionary. This is particularly the case for down in Paradise Canyon near the golf course. Take a trip back memory lane in '95 when the Coulees flooded. Now, this doesn't mean every property near the Coulees is at risk, but if you're considering buying or selling, it's essential to check out the flood zone status and whether or not the property sits on the red line. In some cases, properties at risk may be valued lower because of those concerns, But on the flip side, homes that have flood mitigation systems in place or in lower risk areas may see some peace of mind for some buyers. And for nature lovers, living by the Coulees is an absolute dream. The natural beauty surrounding the Coulees is perfect for hiking, biking, and outdoor activities. There are access to several trail systems, including the popular Coulee Walk, which is a hit with locals and tourists. Not to mention there are picnic shelters along the way, making a perfect spot for a family outing or just a quiet break surrounded by nature. If you love getting outside or enjoy a little adventure in your backyard, a home near the Coulees might feel like your own personal paradise. This could be a huge selling feature for buyers who value outdoor activities. For investors, homes with access to such amenities may appeal to renters or buyers who want to live an active lifestyle, which could help your property stand out in a competitive market. Living near the Coulees also means being close to some of Lethbridge's iconic landmarks. One of those landmarks is the Helen Schuler Nature Center, an amazing local hub where you can learn about the environment, nature, and unique ecosystem around the Coulees. It is a great place for families or anyone who wants to get more connected with Lethbridge's natural beauty. Then there's Fort Whoop-Up, a historical site located right on the edge of the Coulees. It is a reminder of the area's past with the fascinating story of the Canadian fur trade. For history buffs and families, having this on your doorstep adds a whole new layer of interest. And of course, there is Lethbridge's train bridge. This iconic structure spans the entire Coulee and is one of the tallest railway bridges of its kind in the world. Whether you're driving, walking, or just taking in the view from your backyard, the sight of this bridge is an absolute marvel. It's not only a piece of engineering history, but it also adds to the unique landscape of Lethbridge. If you're living near the Coulees, you're pretty much living next to a piece of local pride. From stunning views and privacy to the access to outdoor activities, the local landmarks like the Helen Schuler Nature Center, Fort Whoop-Up, and Lethbridge's train bridge, these properties are highly desirable. But it's important to consider the terrain, flood risk, and maintenance requirements before making a decision. Whether you're a buyer, seller, or investor, it's all about knowing what you're getting into and weighing the benefits against the potential downsides. If you're looking for more detailed advice about living near the Coulees, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And hey, if you have any questions, whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or just want to chat about what's happening in the local market, feel free to reach out anytime. I've got you covered. Thanks for watching. Till next time.